here. I mean, I'm already working on a foreign passport with a completely different name. I don't know how it's going to work as far as dealing with my wife and my children. I certainly don't want them moving to where I'm looking to go. But I don't think yourself, the president of MSNBC, General Milley, Liz Cheney, how many people has he turned around and said that these are people that I intend to go after if I have the ability to? And the worst is the Supreme Court's recent decision.
He's right about that.
Abby, it's more than just that. Not only does Donald Trump have money, he has money with the RNC, he has money with his super PACs, and his money has money. Look at all of the tech billionaires that are around him now. There is an indefinite amount of money. And I believe wholeheartedly that the Des Moines Register, very much like ABC Disney, is going to capitulate. And I believe that Donald Trump has actually figured out a way how to change the way that media deals with issues, whether it's...
Are you worried at all about this, Scott, just where it could go? Not just the Donald Trump of it all, but, I mean, if he's creating precedent, it's for everybody.
Well, when you introduced, Michael, you used the word narratives, and I think one of the reasons Republicans are cheering on this muscular attitude from Trump and pushing back against some of this is because Republicans feel like constantly media organizations, especially in the throes of campaigns, work overtime to create false narratives that may shape the contours of the election. Look what happened. When this poll came out in Iowa, the entire English-speaking world was talking about the gold standard pollster, and Harris has this momentum, and ultimately what we were told was complete garbage. And if you talk to pollsters at the time, they would have told you, this is not real, this methodology is not good anymore. But that's not what people chose to run with because it fit what most people in the press wanted the narrative to be. So he's pushing back on that. I don't, frankly, have a problem with it. And if they capitulate, it's because they don't want to go through the discovery and what that might show.
You're a practitioner, Scott. I mean, it's a bad poll. A bad poll is a bad poll.
Yes, I thought by now this guy would not be in the country. But I'm still shocked he is there. Until still giving opinions about Trump. Now going into Liz Cheney, a lot of people are filming on social media, partaking to this, especially the mainstream media. Trump took a decision. So this lady who came out with a fake poll and he posted this few hours ago. Liz Cheney could be in a lot of trouble based on the evidence obtained by the subcommittee, which state that numerous federal laws were likely broken by Liz Cheney, and this violation should be investigated by the FBI. Thank you to Congressman Barry on a job well done, newsmark by Greg Kelly. Trump posted this. The mainstream media is not taking it lightly. I don't understand why they are now attributing, Trump promised retribution. So he is doing just exactly that. When you look at the leaked text messages I've seen, it clearly shows that this woman committed crimes. If any person look at this, he will obviously think the same, like Trump.
Say it, but Scott is actually right about this one. I hate to say it because Scott and I very rarely agree on anything. He's right. He's right. He's right about this in the fact that sloppy journalism, sloppy polling, and what they did. Look, I was the recipient of more than 100 lies. And I understand what Trump is doing in terms of changing the way defamation cases are brought in this country. You may remember the allegations I was in Prague, never been to Prague. I was in Czechoslovakia. I paid $10 million to Kompromat. I have a house next to Putin in Sochi. None of this is true. On top of that, there was another one that came out as an example where I allegedly was paid $400,000 by Poroshenko to create a meeting between him and Donald Trump during the presidency. That is also not true.
So do you think it should be easier? You believe it should be easier?
No, I think that media has to do their job. They have to actually, they need to get the facts right.
But wait a second. Wait. One person on the podcast, Joe Rogan. All of these people are Trump supporters. What media are you talking about that's anti-Trump?
You're not familiar with the anti-Trump media?
You're not familiar with the fact that you guys control for everything
of
from
all
podcasts?
the things I've heard you say out here, that might be the nuttiest.
Scott,
believe me, there's plenty of anti-Trump media.
She's trying to pay you.
I'm trying
to pay conservatives.
what I'm basically trying to say is that you guys have taken over the airwaves. You guys have taken over the radio airwaves. You guys have taken over podcasts. You guys have taken over pretty much, and now you're sitting here complaining because all you guys do is whine and complain. Your entire raison d'etre is to have grievances. You don't actually think about leading. You just think about having grievances against the media.
I'd like
against
to add
anybody
a
who's
grievance
anti-Trump.
if I could.
Because I can keep going here.
Just another grievance is that Republicans are frustrated. They feel as though the media has been out against them. Some of that is social media. Some of that is influencers. Some of that is just false narratives. And I think that this poll was just sort of the final straw, and people felt like it was somehow deliberate, that there was a deliberate attempt.
That's the word of the day, deliberate. What happens when it was deliberate? That's the whole point that Donald Trump is trying to explore right now. What happens when that deliberate fake poll comes out and does actually alter? Now, by the way, you forgot about X, you forgot about Truth Social,
Thank you, yes,
and so
thank
on.
you.
But what happens when it is deliberate? And that's why I believe that ABC ended up folding, because they did not want discovery to take place.
Yeah.
Yes, for the very first time, and agreeing with Michael Cohen, my very first time, a lot of people are not understanding why ABC for and how to set it down, because there were a lot of things they would discover, maybe collusion, things like that. I don't know. I'm just suggesting. And with this issue of Iowa polls, this lady, according to a lot of articles, people have said, some says that was deliberate to alter a lot of things. Take it both sides. Things came and changed, or changed people's mind. People who thought Trump could win could suddenly change their mind, but along the way, instead, it motivated Trump supporters to be there to defeat that idea. It can change things. And these same people can fall and settle because they are afraid that they might discover a lot of things, and it will continue to implicate them the more. Okay, just imagine if they discover that there was some kind of collusion between her and Kamala campaign, you will see a lot of problems coming out. So to avoid that, people will not like to go through all the process reason. They just want to set up a certain level.
Donald Trump, just weeks away from being invested with the immense powers of the presidency, calling for a criminal investigation into Liz Cheney over witness tampering after a report from House Republicans singled her out, accusing her of colluding with a witness on the January 6th committee and recommending she be investigated for possible criminal prosecution. The president-elect weighing in on Tuesday's report just 3 hours ago, saying this on his Truth Social platform, quote, Liz Cheney could be in a lot of trouble based on the evidence obtained by the subcommittee, which states that numerous federal laws were likely broken by Liz Cheney, and these violations should be investigated by the FBI, end quote. 3:11 a.m. this morning. The president-elect there, referring to the report released yesterday by a Republican-controlled House subcommittee, alleging what it called, quote, the failures and politicization of the January 6th Select Committee, end quote. The report calls the committee, quote, a political weapon with a singular focus to deceive the public into blaming President Trump for the violence on January 6th and tarnish the legacy of his first presidency. Among the report's allegations against Cheney that she colluded with one of the committee's witnesses, Cassidy Hutchinson, who served as an assistant to White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. Hutchinson provided testimony about Trump's actions on January 6th, including recounting a story she was told about an interaction the president had with his Secret Service driver.
The president said something to the effect of, I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now. To which Bobby responded, sir, we have to go back to the West Wing. The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, sir, you need need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol. Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel.
Just look at how this lady implicated herself. Look at the trouble that is coming to them. Even Alisa on The View is facing this kind of challenges. She might be involved in this because when you look through the leaked text messages, you can see that she played a role to convince this lady, Liz Cheney, her and Alisa from The View are in trouble. Thank you guys for always being there, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly.
Donald Trump isn't one to let bygones be bygones.
The thing that disturbs me is not just that.
If you're seeing some videos behind my clips, please, I'm begging on you. That is just for the algorithm. You can stop here. You must not watch to the end. I usually like to pass this information so you should understand why I'm doing so. It is for the algorithm. Sometimes they don't want to recommend videos, so we know they are tricked.
Just, went like, how dare you? Do you even know what an audit is? And I'm like,
women and so many men are
theory that a lot of people seem to be coalescing around.
They were too woke, insisting that people use the term Latinx.
You have to say they. No, you have to do this.
Stop with the virtue signaling.
Step away from woke. Focus less on who is woke and more on who is broke.
I've never seen that.
I saw so many liberals getting super excited every time Kamala had a new celebrity endorsement. But we all know for a fact that these celebrity endorsements are not free.
Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Now it's time to unite everybody.
So, with that, I'm going to shake it off.
Figure out a way to say thank you.
That guy's name, he's such an absolute prick. I can't stand him. But anyway,
Hey there. Not doing great. Terrible night last night. It was a terrible night.
What will the rest of us be doing on day one?
Bishop Vigano, he says that
the election.
well, if I look at the big picture, it doesn't look good. So I'm going to work on this.
No matter what's going on out there in the world, of course, the worst things could happen.
One I've known, which is every president, who's been really red